Hi friends, this is your Rector, Adam Shoemaker, following up again on our upcoming feasibility study, which carries forward a congregational-wide discernment process initiated by our vestry early this year to consider possible renovations to our campus to both meet our needs as a growing congregation and to take advantage of some missional opportunities. And what I'd like to do today is to explain in some detail the concepts that will be tested during this feasibility study. The first concept is what we are terming centering community. And this really revolves around creating an expansive, free-flowing, fully accessible space in the heart of our campus for education, for fellowship, and for other programming. This would be where our current office suite sits, right behind the church. It would be on one level only. That is a shift from what was proposed during the listening phase last spring because of feedback that we have received from the congregation and from people in our neighborhood. But we would be expanding the space, squaring it off widthwise, to cross the stairway that currently leads up to the office suite. And there would be doors that would allow the flow of people from inside that space out into our beautiful garden. We'd also create a full kitchen to support meal preparation. This again would be fully accessible, it would be free flowing, and I would note that this vision would return the building behind the church to the purpose for which it was built in the 1980s. The second concept that we will be testing, we are terming providing home for ministry. And it revolves around a repurposing of the 54 Society Street property that the church owns. That at present, the church occupies one floor of, the first floor, and my family and I live on the other two floors. That first floor right now is where, by necessity, my office is detached from the rest of the staff because we don't have enough room to put people together. And we have a small space that is currently used for Christian education and other programming. We would envision using the entirety of this building first to create unified office space that could bring the rector's office back into line with the rest of the staff, a space for all of our clergy and lay staff to be able to work together, interact together, coordinate ministry together. We would also envision creating additional space for committee meetings and other programming, as well as storage space. We have heard from a number of ministries on the campus that need more room to operate. And then we are envisioning on the third floor carving out an apartment that could potentially be used as a future home for an Episcopal campus minister to the College of Charleston that would be supported by our Episcopal diocese. This is an exciting opportunity for mission and ministry that we have been in conversation with our bishop about. But alternatively, this apartment could be used as an income stream for the parish if we were to rent it out at market value. And then we would put in a lift in the 54 Society Street property to make that space fully accessible and to make our upstairs Iris Carson classrooms that I'm standing in right now that we have already invested in fully accessible as well. There is a related concept that will be tested for this feasibility study, and that is to create a rector's relocation fund. If we are going to repurpose and fully use that 54 Society Street property where my family currently lives, we certainly would need to think about how we support rectors, not just myself, but future rectors in their search for finding a home not far from campus and ideally close to a good school district. And what a lot of churches that don't have rectories do is to provide a no-interest loan to the rector that is paid back when the rector transitions from that congregation. So this is a fund that we are proposing the parish create in order to support the full use of the 54 Society Street property. The fourth concept that will be tested, we are terming prioritizing music ministry. Our music ministry is such a gift here at St. Stephen's. It is so important to our common life here. We're so fortunate to have our talented organist and choir master, Wayne Helmley, leading a growing choir. And one idea that came out of last spring's listening phase was leveling off the choir loft in the rear of the church to improve sight lines and to better accommodate our music ministry. So this would be one way that we could invest in and support our music ministry moving forward. Then we have a concept that we are terming honoring the land. And this is about refurbishing our beautiful memorial garden, where so many of our saints here at St. Stephen's are laid to rest, and where people come to sit and to pray and to be in God's presence. We would like to really use this campaign to help spruce that space up. And then finally, we have some smaller projects, some deferred maintenance that was lifted up for leadership during the listening phase that we would like to tend to, as well as stewards of this wonderful campus that has been entrusted to us. As I've already said in previous videos to the parish, there are two significant ways that people in the parish will be invited into this process. All giving households in the congregation will be receiving a questionnaire shortly after Thanksgiving, and you'll have most of the month of December to pray over that questionnaire and to return it. You can do that by mail, and you can do that online as well. And then a cross-section of the congregation is being reached out to right now for face-to-face interviews in early December by some members of our consulting team, Vandersall Collective. But in both of these methods, the concepts that I have just described will be offered to you for your consideration, for your reflection. There will be estimated costs associated with each of them. You can prioritize them if you like and provide feedback for our vestry leadership. But please do participate fully in this process. It is so very important that you offer your opinion, your perspective, so that we can discern our next steps together as we attempt to begin to lay down a strong physical foundation for St. Stephen's next 100 years. In this time of Thanksgiving, I am so very grateful to continue to have the opportunity to serve St. Stephen's as your rector, and grateful to you and yours for your membership in our fellowship of faith.